This is Messages from the Universe with Lori Wondra of Your Life Core. Here, Lori delivers information from the Mastery Realms related to astrology, planetary influences, energy surges, and generally how we are evolving. She connects with angels, guides, ascended masters, astro beings, and those that come forward with messages to help us on our journey. Welcome, everyone, to Messages from the Universe podcast.
Hello, I am Lori Wondra, and thank you for listening. Welcome to Messages from the Universe, where we get to hear from the wisdom keepers and guides and teachers of the universe as they share their insight and wisdom with us. And they have been talking a lot recently about navigation, our compass, our emotional compass, and our mental compass, and how those things are being recalibrated and supporting us as we go through change. So today the topic is navigating change. This is where we will get to explore the challenges and the opportunities that life can throw our way oftentimes. We're diving into this topic. I feel like the guides want us really to embrace what change is and understand it so that it just makes the changes that are ahead a little bit easier and easier to adapt and thrive whenever we do face change. Everything is energy. We are energy. And just that simple fact means that everything is forever changing. And some of us are a little bit better at navigating change. Some of us are newbies. Some of us are still gaining experience. It doesn't matter what level you are, change can come along and throw you in a spin when you least expect it. Some of you listening to this might find yourself in the midst of change, or you might be a change agent for others. But while our navigation systems are also changing, how is this all working? In the midst of change, even how we change and how we interpret change is changing. Do we embrace change, or are we change adverse? Now, when we talk about change, change can be a new job, new home, a new baby. It can be aging parents, retirement, health issues, or scares. It can be relationship endings, beginnings, or shifts, such as empty nesting. Changes can be unexpected bills, the rising costs of living, or unavailability of something that had been a mainstay in your life. Changes can be big or small, many or few, but change happens, and change is another form of energy expression. We might feel time is speeding up or slowing down. We could even say the level and the rate we are experiencing change is also increasing, because it is. Change can be internal or external, an internal change in how we respond to something involving us or those around us, or an external change where the factors of the world are impacting us. We live change, big or small, each and every day. As you age, you are experiencing change. As you age, you're experiencing cellular change. We experience social change, environmental change, economic change. Life is about change and how we respond or don't respond to it. How we see it, how we feel it impacts us, or how we feel it doesn't impact us. What tools we've gained or what we know about ourselves. Everything is energy and nothing remains dormant or the same. So let's talk about what change really means, because it can be scary, it can be exciting, and sometimes it can be both. It can come from our choices, like starting a new career, or from circumstances beyond our control, like moving to a new city, or like we recently experienced a few years ago, the global pandemic. Research shows that our brains are wired to resist change because it can lead to uncertainty. But remember, change often leads to growth. It pushes us out of our comfort zones, helps us discover new strengths and perspectives. And the laws of physics is we are energy and nothing remains at rest. We're always evolving, so we are forever changing. It doesn't sound very reassuring, but the universe does give us pushes for these movements, and then we get these rest periods for slower or calmer change. We have mentors and helpers and examples. I'm looking out my window now as I'm watching the trees, the leaves change and drop. Nature demonstrates to us change, the change of seasons. Maybe the change is so subtle that one day you look at something and ask, how did I even get to this place? It might be movement so slow that you didn't notice, and it wasn't really disruptive, but nonetheless, it's change. Now think of a time in your life when you faced change and what emotions you might have experienced. As you've aged or had more experience in life, how do you find you face change? Do you embrace it more? Do you face it with zest, fear, or fascination? Maybe you face it with dread and resistance. Oh boy, here we go again. For me personally, I can sense change is nearing, and many of you have said that to me. I feel something is coming. Something is up in the air, and I can't pinpoint what it is, but I have the sense that there's change in the winds, in the air. For me, my compass gets activated. When I was younger, I would stress about not knowing what was coming, and the feeling of not knowing tended to create a bigger imbalance. And sometimes for me, that pushed me into making a rash decision I really didn't need to make. I stressed over things I really didn't need to stress over. And over time, I've respected my processing time. I've respected and I've learned about my compass, and I trust I'll know what I need to know when I need to know it. I trust I have helpers and wisdom and energy I can tap into. I'm more sure of myself in change. Now, granted, sometimes the universe will throw an unexpected change at us, but I know I have the tools, the emotional stability, the mental processes that I can navigate through those things. I might not know what is changing, but I know I'll be able to handle it. This usually comes with more experience in change itself, but also an awareness of your emotions and your mental beliefs and your abilities to navigate through those. The universe doesn't just throw change at us. The universe gives us an opportunity to learn, to shift, to gain more tools, to understand how we navigate through change. The example for a shift in your mental compass is that you are aware of change and you trust you can handle it. You know that you'll be fine and adaptable. It might be uncomfortable. You maybe won't have all the details that you need, but you'll figure it out. Trusting you don't have to have all the answers or the solutions. And sometimes that in itself can be awkward or even embarrassing for some people. If you expect that you should know or you should be able to handle it. If you expect it to be something that it's not, then it becomes a little bit more difficult to navigate. Be kind to yourself. The experiences are about adjusting our mental compass and how we approach change. Our navigation systems are being upgraded. So how we approach change is also being changed. Our navigation systems are picking up the pathways that are under construction, and therefore we need a new route. Maybe there's congestion on our path. Maybe it's not the best path for you. And the universe wants to show you a new path. Go with it. Trust it. Know that your navigation system is being upgraded. There's new roads being built all the time, and the universe wants you to try out those new roads. Anytime we navigate change, we go on this emotional journey first. Our emotional compass engages and our emotions flare. The spinning of the dial of emotions can include fear, anxiety, excitement, and even relief. Fear of the unknown. It's natural to worry about what's next. Acknowledge this fear. Don't suppress it. Anxiety. This often comes from feeling out of control. Strategies like mindfulness and deep breathing can help ground you. Excitement. That's on the flip side. Change can bring new opportunities and new adventures. Embrace this feeling. And relief. Sometimes change is a welcome escape from a situation that no longer serves you. You've outgrown it. It's done. It's past. It's ended. And the universe is moving or pushing you along. This is a time the universe gives us to assess and learn through our emotions. This is where our mental compass gets engaged because we begin to think about our emotions. And sometimes we have judgments about the emotions or what we're feeling. Our emotional compass and our mental compass work hand in hand. And sometimes we're just on autopilot as to what actions to take based on the emotion. But the universe always gives us this little bit of a pause between to assess and experience and express the difference between our emotional compass and the actions we take from our mental processing. If I'm feeling fear, what mental processes do I have around fear? Do I run? Do I hide? Do I lash out? Those are pathways. If I'm feeling anxiety, what mental processes do I have or have I used when I've been in this situation before? What's worked? What's not worked? How have I handled anxiety? Maybe I didn't make any changes after the last time I experienced anxiety. So now every action is going to be based on what I did before, whether it worked out for me or not. If I'm excited, what have I done in the past? Perhaps with excitement, because it's a higher vibration, I might have been more open and felt safe to try something new or different. And if I feel relief, I also might take a different path and a different direction, as there might be an openness for opportunity or to do something different because I'm moving away from something. Now, these, of course, are only a very small number of emotions that we feel, but these are usually a starting point. They're the basic, and then we begin to layer other emotions on top of these foundations. So, for example, fear, we might add on survival and lack of or destitution. Anxiety, we might add on overwhelm or numbness. We layer our emotions as we are figuring out and navigating through change. And often as humans, we rush through this part. We just want to get through the change. We just want to get back to normal, whatever that is. We want to move through it quickly. It's uncomfortable, so we want to move through the uncomfortableness quickly. But the universe gives us opportunity to be in this moment so that we can learn, so that we can expand our tools. If you understand what you're feeling, it's not just one thing, but it's also multi-layered, and that you're feeling those multi-layers, you can learn from that. And knowing and understanding you have multiple layers, that gives you all different pathways and actions to navigate through. We are diverse human beings. We like having options. We don't like when we feel we're trapped into one plan. Our brains are wired to multi-process, and you can tap into more layers of your being for actions and then possible outcomes. You might be listening to this and saying, in the heat of change, I don't have time. I don't have time to sit with my emotions or to look at my mental processes around how I deal with change. That might be true, but take the time at some point to learn more about you. As we navigate changes, take time to feel how you are feeling and take note as to the actions that you take out of those feelings, to acknowledge what you know to be true and those things that you don't know to be true, those beliefs that you hold. Some beliefs might be limiting for you, like, I don't have any options. I have to take these steps. That's a limiting belief. The universe will help you fill in gaps when you need them, or the universe will help you filter out useless information that you don't need or acknowledge. But you need to give the universe a little bit of time to interact with you. We often rush through or feel panicked in needing to resolve, so we don't pause to register the emotions or the mental processes that we have tied to those emotions. Society pressures us to get moving, to not linger. I'm noticing that society is now moving into a space of mindfulness, taking time to pause, to breathe, to take time to do yoga, meditation, get out in nature. I think those are new tools or gifts from the universe that are reminding us that there's different ways to process how we're experiencing change. I'm curious, If you've recently started meditating or going for walks or journaling or practicing breathing, is that a change for you? Is that a shift in how you process or how you live each and every day? And if so, what a gift you've given to yourself. We are smarter, we're wiser, we're more mature in how we solution through things. And we can tap into other resolutions also. We have more choices than we've had in the past. We have more resources in our evolution process to choose pathways that may be better for us. We have more involvement in our decisions. And we have a choice. We can take time to make decisions. We have more options to reach out and ask for help or to internalize and go within and tap into our own inner wisdom. If you are facing change, the best thing you can do for yourself is understand that this is going to be an opportunity for it to be different. Don't go into the change with a panic that, oh my gosh, here I go again. This was an uncomfortable situation for me in the past. Be open. There's 7 areas that I want to touch on that can be helpful strategies in helping you navigate change more effectively. One being acceptance. Acknowledge that change is part of life. Surrendering to the natural flow of life can lead to profound spiritual growth. It can be easing into the shifts that are going to happen anyway. 2, tune into your inner compass. Take time to reflect on your emotional compass, how you feel during situations, your responses to those events or situations, what your core values are, what truly matters to you, what do you respond to and not respond to. Let this guide your decisions. 3, stay connected. Reach out to those spiritual peers or those spiritual communities, whether it's friends, family, or support groups. Share your experiences. This can help strengthen your connection to others and certainly feel more confident in the decisions that you make for yourself. 4, set intentions. Instead of setting goals, consider setting some intentions. What do you wish to cultivate within yourself during this change? 5, practice self-care. Prioritize your mental and spiritual well-being, your emotional health. Engage in activities that nourish your soul. As mentioned earlier, nature walks, yoga, breathing, meditation, or creative pursuits. 6, embrace a growth mindset. View challenges as opportunities to learn and grow spiritually. Reflect on what the experience is teaching you. Celebrate what you've learned. Celebrate where you are on this journey. And lastly, always seek out professional help if needed. Sometimes talking to an advisor, a counselor, or a therapist can provide the support you need to navigate complex emotions. And that professional help also includes reaching out to the teachers, the wisdom keepers, the spiritual beings that are not in this dimension that are certainly here to support us. Remember that everyone is navigating change and everyone navigates change differently. And how we are navigating change is going through change. So find what works best for you and know that what worked for you years ago probably is not going to work for you the same today. Be open to new ways to navigate. Let go of the urge that you have all the answers or that you have to do what you've done in the past, that you might need to even let go of the feeling that you're right and someone else is wrong. Resistance to change can make the experience more contentious and painful. Change is not an obstacle, but it's an opportunity for spiritual growth and realignment. It is the natural order of energy. Everything vibrates and nothing stays the same. So when you experience change, can you embrace it, learn from it, allow it to shape you into a stronger version of yourself? Hope is very powerful, and you need to maintain some level of hope and trust in yourself. But hope is not a plan. It's an energy that supports a plan, or it can be the energy that holds you until the plan is clear. Living intentionally then can lead to a goal that then can lead to a plan. Hoping for a goal, hoping for a plan, or hoping is an action that's always out there, somewhere out in the future, someday, somewhere, somehow. It's not present, and it puts you in this perpetual state of forever looking for something that's just outside of your reach. It might not happen. It might not be aligned with your path, and then you have the feeling of loss or the feeling of failure in that. Bring your life and your intentions to now, today, daily living. Take time to feel and know your emotions and how you respond during an event or how you didn't respond. This is knowing you and learning from your experiences. Certainly, we can learn from teachers and mentors and books and classes, but our greatest teacher is ourself through our experiences and our assessments and taking time and pause to reflect. We are smart. We're intelligent. We are wisdom keepers also here on earth. We know ourselves, and during a time of change, I believe it is the universe giving us the opportunity to know ourselves better. Do you think you know everything about yourself? The universe will give you all the opportunities to prove that wrong, to prove that you can go deeper and add another layer of what you know now about yourself. And that's evolution. Once you see something about yourself, you will change it or embody it for useful or not useful. I can think of a few times in my life where I took time to assess who I was during a situation. Usually it was an uncomfortable situation. And I asked the question, was I my best version of me at that time? Or did I need to learn something to improve upon? We all have those moments, but the maturity and the evolution is your willingness to look inward or to blame outward. There are changes ahead. There are lots of changes ahead. Just by our natural aging process, we are changing. Life continues to change around us, and therefore, since we are here on earth, we are in that vibration of change. Be blessed. Assess. You will learn to navigate, and it's not so difficult when you understand the tools that you're working with. You are smart. You are wise. You are capable, and you are changing. I'm Lori Wondra of Your Life Core, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe podcast with Lori Wondra of Your Life Core. For current events or to schedule a private session with Lori, please visit yourlifecore.com.